Hello guys, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Joso. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm sure you're interested in finding out a little bit more about the Femmycycle cup. Before we dive in, just make sure that if you do like this content, you subscribe, you like, you comment, talk to me, let's have some dialogue, and most importantly, click the notification bell somewhere down there just so that you are alerted when I do put out new content, because YouTube is on something else right now. So anyway, you guys may notice I do have a different background. You're absolutely right, I did move. I am so excited because I moved into somewhere that has a lot more space. So I actually have a dedicated office, which I am still working on. So you guys are probably going to see different designs coming from me, but I'll have those in a later video. For today, we are going to go ahead and talk about this Femmycycle cup. Now what I'm going to be doing is we're just going to be running through the basic stats of the product itself, and then I'll give you guys the pros and the cons, and if I do recommend or if I don't recommend that you actually purchase this product and use it for yourself. So I do want to put out a disclaimer, this product is not sponsored. I did buy it with my own money. I actually really love reviewing things that I purchased myself and giving you guys an extensive review based on my personal experience, because as a consumer I understand wanting to make sure that I have all of the details before I invest my money into something or really anything. So let's jump right in. Alright, so first things first, you guys, if you haven't seen my review of the Lunette cup, I will put it somewhere here in the cards or in the description below. But essentially I did, that was the first cup that introduced me into alternative menstrual care products. And number one, I was just getting a little bit tired of the cramps. I was getting tired of constantly changing out tampons. I do err on the side of heavy when it comes to my flow, and so I had to consistently make those changes. And with those being said, I also started to see a lot of the research that came out about different menstrual products that were made with toxic chemicals, which probably induce the majority of the issues when it comes to your menstrual pain and stuff like that. So I wanted to find out if I could find something that was an alternative. Now of course this is a strange concept for some people, but trust me, once you do try and embark on this journey, you will never go back, as I have decided never to go back to any traditional menstrual care products. So speaking of the Femmycycle cup, I saw this from Samage and I also saw this from Just Kelly, and I was like, yo, they're raving about this cup, so I need to get my hands on it. This is actually probably one of the most expensive cups on the market, but I decided that if I was going to put an investment into a product that was reusable, then I want to make sure that it does all that it can to make sure that my process throughout the entire week is as seamless and as comfortable as possible. So what did I do? I went online and I ordered myself my very own Femmycycle cup. I looked at the website and I'd heard a couple of things about reviews from people who ordered from the website, and I wasn't too pleased in terms of Just Kelly's experience, so I decided to just go ahead and get my own on Amazon. Now the first problem that I did have with the Amazon order is the fact that you couldn't get just a regular sized cup on its own. On Amazon you either had to get the teen size or you had to get the starter kit, which included 2 cups, which was the low cervix cup as well as the regular sized cup. Now the box for both of those retailed for $49.99, I believe, so that was 50 bucks. I do think that the value is fair when it comes to having 2 cups. However, if you don't have a low cervix, then unfortunately for this cup, what's going to happen is you're not going to use one of them. So I am currently actually going to be giving my second one away. So that was just one thing that I was like, but I guess it's fair enough for the company to do since you're not ordering directly from their website. Now if you do go to their website and order this, I believe it is $40, $39.99, but if I am wrong, I'm going to go ahead and put that information on the screen so you get an exact the exact information in terms of what the price of this particular cup is. Now, I will say that the price is worth it, just because if you were to add up the amount that you're spending on menstrual products for the rest of the year, then this is probably going to be quite a money saving alternative for you. So I am definitely for spending a little on this, just so that you don't have to spend as much in the future. So let's talk about the cup itself, the shape, the form, what it's made of. So on the box, this does say that this particular cup is what's it called? Medical grade silicone. So this does not have latex. So if you do have any form of aversion to latex, you do know that you don't have to worry about that, just because you don't want anything that is harmful to your body. And also there is a warning on the label or the box that if you do have if you have ever had toxic shock syndrome, don't use this. If you have an IUD, don't use this. And of course, you should not be using this cup during sexual intercourse, because it is not a contraceptive and it will not prevent you from getting pregnant or STDs. Now, let's talk about the cup a little bit. And of course, if you have an IUD or anything else, just make sure you consult your doctor. I am not a doctor. I don't have a PhD, so don't come for me in the comments talking about Joseph told me to go use a cup and now I'm sick. No. Anywho, let's talk about the cup and what it is made of and what it looks like. So this is the shape of the cup. It looks very interesting. It's actually a pretty different design from most of the traditional menstrual cups that you see out there. Now, at first it might look a little bit intimidating and a little bit daunting, because you're like, whoa, that looks a little bit bigger and it looks a little intense. How do I manage this? With the design of this particular cup, there is a groove that you just push your finger down right in the middle through, squeeze it at the top, and insert it. And honestly, because my hands are dry right now, literally it's that simple. You just put it in. And the difference between this cup and my lunette cup is once you squeeze it and put it in, it actually doesn't have to open all the way, which is going against a lot of the information that the other cups preach, or it goes against the way the other cups work. Now, the thing about this particular cup is it's supposed to work based on suction. So it isn't just sitting there waiting to cap on, you know what I'm saying, the opening. What this does is, regardless of how it gets in there, the idea is that it will literally use suction to draw out all the stuff and collect it neatly at the bottom of this cup. The other good thing about this design is it does have this inner membrane type situation. So if the liquid does go in, even though it tilts left and right, it is actually going to be spill proof. So actually that's a very, very good thing when it comes to the design of this. And of course, the other thing that is different about this cup than other cups is that it does have this circular squishy thing for you to be able to put your finger in and help you pull it out a little bit more conveniently. So I give this an A+ when it comes to the design of this cup. Even though it looks a little bit intimidating, I will say that this company really thought out the process of this cup and thought out exactly how convenient and comfortable this can be. Now, in terms of how it feels, it is a little bit softer than my lunette cup. I haven't tried the Diva cup, but I heard the Diva cup was a little bit harder as well. But the softness allows for a very easy insertion. If I were to compare the lunette insertion versus this one, I actually was pretty surprised, because even though the lunette looks a little bit cuter, well, I shouldn't say cuter, but it looks just a little bit more dainty, this cup inserted so easily. And I don't know if it's because I've been used to putting cups in, but I literally popped this in. The rim of this is made a little bit tougher just to make sure that you can actually push it through. But once you push this cup through, it's like you don't feel a single thing. So number one, when it comes to the design, A+, because it thinks about putting it in as well as putting it out. Number 2, it feels very comfortable. You can't feel it at all. And then of course, the suction works amazingly because of how big this cup is, especially if you're heavier like me. The good thing is that you actually can last quite a few hours. I have lasted at least 8 to 10 hours with this cup in. Like, I will go to work and I will get home and I will take it out. Now, just like a tampon, if it is getting full, like on the days that I'm extremely heavy, I will feel it. So you, just like you feel it like it's time to change a tampon, it's the same exact feeling. So you literally just make that change. When I am on my period, what I do is I do carry around disinfectant wipes, flushable wipes, and that way I can, you know, be able to get into a bathroom and make sure that everything is still clean and sanitary for me to go ahead and make the switch. But most of the time, honestly, I do not feel a need, or I don't have to actually change this throughout the day. I usually just do it once I get home and everything is fine. I do still use panty liners just to make sure that if there are any leaks or proofs or anything like that, it is prevented or it is caught before a disaster happens. So I have not had any murder scenes yet in my bathroom or anything like that. So one more thing, I would say the only con with this particular product that you could possibly run into is actually if you have any leaks or spills. Now, I did recommend this to one of my coworkers, and she was talking about the fact that, and she was pretty new to them, and she was like, hey, yesterday I was fine, but then today it leaked a little bit. A tip or a trick for getting your menstrual cups not to leak on you is just to make sure that before you insert it back in, because I know a lot of times you like wash it out or rinse it out and then put it in, make sure that you pat dry the outside of it, because especially with a cup like this, you don't want it to slide up and down. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the liquid can pass through. The idea is to build suction and have everything collect in here. So you want to make sure that you pat the entire thing dry so that it is firm in that position and it doesn't move. And honestly, after I do that, literally it has changed the course of any menstrual cup for me. So if you do experience any sort of leaks, just make sure that you are completely patting the outside dry once you do clean it and you put it in. Of course, I don't know if I mentioned this, I didn't mention this. What you do is once you are done with your cycle, make sure that you are boiling this to make sure it stays clean and sanitary. I actually use the natural soap, the Castile soap, just because it's antibacterial, just to make sure that I am continuing to be sanitary with this particular product. But I would say it is an absolute purchase. This cup is life-changing. This is absolutely amazing. I don't see a need to go seek any other cups because this one is truly, truly amazing. So if you are questioning or wondering about different kinds of menstrual products, I say go for it. It is absolutely amazing, guys. It's amazing. I don't know how else to say this, but it saves me so much money, so much time, so much concern, and most importantly, I feel like the comfort of my period is so much better just because I am literally not having to worry about it and I don't have as many cramps. Plus, you don't have all that bad stuff in, you know what I'm saying, that's in the cotton, like the processed cotton, and then all the chemicals. And apparently I've been seeing a lot of things where it's like tampons, you don't really know how long they're on the shelf for since you can't see what's inside of them. So some of them are like moldy and rotten, and you put that into you and you have all these problems and you don't know why. So anywho, that's it for me. I'm done rambling for today. I hope this video was informational to you, and I'm excited. I'll see you guys on my next video. Yeah, bye.